How would you like to know about 10 ways to earn with expenses and still make a profit? Yep, I'm going to say it again. 10 ways to earn with expenses and still make a profit. It is definitely feasible and possible because, like I said in the last video, all you have is your earning power, and you want to be able to keep as much of that earnings as you can. Whether it's with a business, whether it's working for a company, try to keep what you have. Nevertheless, if you have expenses and you have a business, those expenses are deductible. And the benefit of having a business is you deduct your expenses first and then you pay taxes. When you just work for somebody, you pay your taxes first and then you have to pay expenses after that. So pull up a chair, grab a coffee, grab a tea, like and subscribe to this channel, and let's do a deep dive into 10 ways that you can actually have expenses, and still earn a profit. Sonia Gallen-Komanika here, SoniaGallen-Komanika.com, and the author of 10 Things I Wish I Knew as a Single Parent, where we talk about all things single parents. So number one in this journey of 10 ways to earn with expenses and making a profit is to partner with a prime or general contractor. When you partner with them, you're probably going to be paid way beyond your earning ability as an individual, because these contracts are coming from the government and they're required to give smaller subcontractors a portion of them, and they're typically very large contracts. So you can add your expenses into everything, and that can be a really great thing. So partnering with a prime contractor or a general contractor, if you are working in that field, is a great way to have expenses and to earn a profit while having expenses, because it's going to be way beyond your typical earning ability. Number two, and I talked about before, being in specialized fields, you can charge your clients for all your expenses. So some people, whatever amount of time it takes them to get the job done, whether it's an accountant, a lawyer, it doesn't matter, they actually charge the client for their time. And this is a concept everybody needs to have. It doesn't matter what the field. If you are investing time in a business, you want to charge them for it. Your time is valuable and it is the only thing that you cannot recover. So charge clients for your expenses, and that might also include your time. Number three, charge fees that cover your expenses and salary. So before you would even provide a quote or an amount for your services, you need to know what your expenses are. Whether it's you're paying a bookkeeper, whether it's you're commuting, maybe you're paying for fuel, maybe you have to stay at a hotel, whatever the expenses are, you need to add them into your fees, and therefore your expenses are always covered, or increase your fees so that your expenses are always covered. Number four, avoid transportation work that requires the use of your personal vehicle. I know the whole gig field is really popular right now, but the reality is you're probably really not making money, even though you can deduct the expenses. If your vehicle breaks down, you have a transmission issue, anything, you have now lost a lot of your earning power, and your expenses can be so high that you can't even deduct it. Even with the DOT offering you food allowances and all your expenses being paid, you're probably still not really making a profit. So be very careful of transportation companies that require you to use your personal vehicle, because it looks like you're making money, but if you really do the math in the end, I did a video not too long ago, a woman spoke about earning $103,000, but after taxes, expenses, and everything, she only had $20,000. Now, when people initially started in these fields, they were not paying taxes on them. Anything under $25,000, they didn't have to pay any taxes. There were no major issues there. But then obviously the government got ahead of us and said, okay, well, we're going to start charging them. And then that certainly decreased your ability to earn. So think about what you're doing, really plan carefully. Some fields you're not going to be able to have expenses and still make a profit. But today, this video is about how you do make a profit. Once again, the more specialized your field, the better. You can definitely charge a lot more for your expenses and your fees and your expenses, and you won't have to pay those if you are in a specialized field. You can add everything into the doctor, lawyer, whatever. You can be in construction, it doesn't matter. You can add every expense into the bill, so before you pay any taxes and stuff. So the more specialized your field, the better your skills, the better your education, understanding, the less the more profit you're going to be able to keep, and the less or fewer expenses, or you'll have expenses but you can pass them on to the clients. And then a fun fact, number 6, you could work in entertainment, and I believe all your expenses will be covered. So working in entertainment definitely opens up a whole new category. It definitely gives you a higher earning power so that your expenses are so minimal, and you probably are getting a lot of stuff for free. I bet you somebody like Oprah Winfrey or whatever could walk in and they're probably not paying anything. Very rarely. So working in entertainment has a lot of perks that come along with it, a lot of benefits. You might have a few expenses, but you might not as well, and those can easily be written off or put into the cost of whatever it is you're, whether it's you're on television, whether you're performing. All of those expenses can be added in to the cost of your services or your performance. Number 7, find work that pays you as an independent contractor and gives you a per diem. Each company is different. You can work as an independent contractor for one company and not have any money given to you. You can work as an independent contractor for another company and they're giving you money for food, for a hotel, and all sorts of other things. So either way, these big corporations are getting the money back. So them paying you doesn't do anything. So they can pay you and they are going to just deduct it at the end of the year. So work for a company as an independent contractor that gives you a daily allowance. I know some independent contractors we're moving the same vehicles, but one is paying $1 per mile plus hotel. The other one is paying 50 cents per mile, no hotel. So you do the math, figure it out, search for these companies that are really good to their people. The other thing is, number 8, partner with someone who's willing to be a silent partner in the business. They don't want anything to do with the day-to-day stuff, and you're like, hey, I'll do the day-to-day stuff in exchange for you covering my expenses. And that's a good way to, or if they don't, give you a higher salary, if they don't want to cover your expenses, that's a good way for you to have a profit. You take away the stress from somebody else in exchange for them paying you a higher salary, higher fee, whatever. And even if you have expenses, you can kind of roll them into this fee and then you still will make a profit. So partner with somebody who doesn't want to do some part of the position. You take that off their back and you are definitely going to earn more and have a higher profit. Number 9, work with multi-billion-dollar companies that have a large spending budget for your services, whatever that might be. Maybe it's speaking, teaching, maybe it's performing, whatever it is. Maybe it's a doctor, a lawyer. You want somebody, these corporations, they have budgets. You want somebody with a very large, and I emphasize very large, spending budget for your services so that you can roll all your fees and expenses in and still make a profit. And you want to be with these companies that have that. Otherwise, you're both going to be broke. Small business probably does not have the same budget that a corporation does. So corporations are huge entities. They have budgets. Work with them and you will probably see your profits soar. And number 10, last but not least, do not work for less than 3 times your monthly or your annual living expenses. So when you take on a position and you have expenses, you need to multiply that times 3. So when you're requesting a fee, you now can make a profit. So maybe 1/3 will go to your expenses, but 2/3 stay in your pocket. So you need to look for positions. Don't even get out of bed if it's not going to pay you at least 3 times your monthly expenses or 3 times your annual salary. Thank you so much for being here. Sonia Gallion-Comanica, SoniaGallion-Comanica.com, and the author of 10 Things I Wish I Knew as a Single Parent, where we talk about all things single parents. Take these tips, implement them, let me know which ones work best for you, which ones, weren't so great. Like and subscribe, and I look forward to the next video. Have an amazing day.